My first poem is called, Yeah, Just a Bit. When I walk in the cold, dimly lit streets, acid rain eats at my skin like a plague of mice, and I don't find it suffice to say, great ball of fire above me, give me something refreshing to see. The plague, now rats, tiptoes into the Venus fly trap that is my cynical throat. They curl their tails and constrict my collarbones. Crimson solar flares erupt from my pores. Anger grits its teeth and writhes its veiny, bloody fist, hammering my skull and peering deep into my brain. Draining me of desire and aspiration, his deprivation curb stomps my liver, reducing me to nothing but broken, bitter, burnt ends. My ribs float away from my spine, fluttering down to the depths of my soul, like the fall leaves of a ginkgo tree. Yellow-white, soaring light, like feathers surfacing my newly configured sarcophagus. Through the dark, I see the silhouette of a man. Gary's white spider spindle hairs speckled his soft, smiley, wrinkled face. He puckered his lips into an O to sip from his chocolate cocoa. Lowering his mug, he opens his mouth and says, "A cold one we're having, isn't it?" I think reply, "Yeah, just a bit." This next one is called "O Cyclical Life." As the abstract sounds of my alarm blare, my eyes crawl back to face forward. My eyelids drift open to darkness and hatred. I do not love life. In fact, I hate it. The skeletons and shadows of previous generations are forced under us as stepping stones to the future. Meanwhile, in the trough, where us animals are herded and kept, we are suffering. Every morning of my life, spent, squandered, waiting for arrival at your gallows. Every morning, I tear off the chains compelling me to my bed, because I am bound by law. Every night, I sleep, knowing what comes the next morning. Violent retching, tears of anger, true disassociation. I put on my mask. Over the threshold of my door, my foot careens through the air in silence, just to be brought down into doubt, pain, fear, and more deceiving fodder. Now, I am on my way to school. This poem is called "What We Can Learn from Water." Bay water turns over itself, splashing and releasing oxygen through frill, foamy bubbles. In between my toes, they percolate and pop, cluing into where water hides its lungs or its heart. Perhaps every glass of water's heart is its ice cube. Deep oceans foster entanglements of octo-olive green arms, submerged but seemingly slithering. Swaying leaves tear and fray, compressing and expanding, like the most amorphous set of fire bellows, exhaling the lifeblood of the sea. Offering their sustenance to litters of scuttlers, hordes of sweet tiny entities, slick beasts that roam the dark in search of warmth. We too seek this same warmth in the heart of existing in the present, by the hearth of nature, being nurtured and tended to by the ebb and flow that relegates most living things. Humans, all of us, are 70% water. But how many of us truly embody water? How many of us spread our own kelp wings and let the new souls of our generation have a taste of our extended hand? How many of us strain the good from the bad? How many of us let the bad infect our good? How many of us find the strength to empower ourselves like the moon does herself, giving her own light to strangers, illuminating their lives with meaning, letting them wander in order to find their own ends of the world? Why do we accept the folded, matted corner of the blanket we are given? Why not thrust it about, side to side, up and down, until it floats like a periwinkle crown, waiting to envelop a soul, and dub them with a new, refreshed sense of meaning, the ridding of a bad habit, or maybe just a good night's rest is all of the change that we need. This last one is called Fear and Anxiety's Waltz. Fear promenades around my stomach, hand in hand with anxiety, doing a bitter waltz as they tap around, like tea with no honey, snaking and sneaking toward me up in the canopy of my birch tree. Finger by finger, I let go, and when I fell, my blood thawed. When I hit the ground, I became free. Thank you so much for having me.